Denver, and I'm producer Wiggins, and with me, Mr. Black, and we got to get into it right now with him because Mr. Black, if you don't know about him, you're going to know about him, and I don't want to say he's going to make you a rich man because there's legalities through that, but he's going to make you an educated person, an educated man, an educated woman, and that's because we launched our partnership with DraftKings, and Mr. Black are you the top 3, top 5 better gambler, wager? What are you exactly according to DraftKings?
Yeah, obviously it's always a moving target, but based on success rate and dollars wagered, that at one point I was the top 5 in Colorado with every state being different. So that's fluid and is always changing. But
that's awesome. And because of you, Mr. Black, we were able to get a partnership going between #I'm from Denver and DraftKings. And through that, we were like, you know what? We need to educate people because I personally, I don't know this space, right? I don't understand the terminology. When you talk, it's like another language. And the goal we kind of came up with was to educate this audience in Denver just kind of about how they can get really into sports and even the sports betting world.
Yeah, I think it's really important to understand, I have experience of about 15 years. And really what it comes down to, the reason why I'm doing it is just try to educate people. I'm not looking to charge anybody anything. I'm just trying to give advice. So we figured that education, advice, and knowledge to all different bettors would be beneficial and hopefully help a lot of people.
Betters. It doesn't sound right, but it's right. And so we're going to have the link right there, which is imfromdenver.com/DraftKings. You're actually eligible to get up to $1,000 bonus when you sign up and you use that link. And it's all partnership with I'm from Denver and Mr. Black. But let's get into it, man. The first thing that let's educate someone like me and let's talk about the games that are coming up. We got some basketball, Kings and Hawks, and Knicks and Heat. What do I need to know about these games before I make a bet, or how do I prepare?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that a lot of the things that I'm going to share obviously isn't just a guess. It's more of an educated guess through numbers. And so a lot of data over many, many years that we've been tracking things. And so there's certain systems that I follow between professional basketball, professional baseball, all the college sports. And so these are systems that I follow that have been proven to be very successful. That will win 60, 70, 80% of the time. Anybody that tells you they win 100% of the time, it's not accurate, but we can get into a little bit more as it relates to what it all means as we talk through the games.
What's that line from Anchorman? 90% of the time, it works every time. It's nothing like that, but it's kind of like that. So let's get into the Kings and Hawks. So I'm getting into the app. I just went to imfromdenver.com/DraftKings, and now I have the app. I signed up. What am I looking to do? What's so great about this Kings Hawks game that I need to do as a bettor?
Yeah, so I think it's important to know, that the Atlanta New York game tonight, the line opened at 7.5. Atlanta is getting 7.5 points, and now it's at 9.5. So the line's on the move. The total was opened at 233.5. So total combined points scored is what Vegas was telling us, and now it's moved down to 231.5. And so there's 60% of the bets on the under, and 94% of the money is on the under. And
okay, so explain 7.5 to 9 points to me. That's the difference in who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Yeah, so minus 7.5 with Atlanta basically is saying that they have to win by 7.5 or more. Obviously, there's no half points, so they'd win by 8, and then you would win that bet if you went on Atlanta. And then as it relates to the total, they put a total number combined between Atlanta and New York. So combined points scored 233.5. If they combine to score more than that, you go over, you would win that bet. Obviously, if you went under, you would win that bet.
So if you're a gambling man, which you are, what would you do here? What would Mr. Black do?
Yeah, so on this game specifically, they combined average on the season to score 221 points between the two teams. So Sacramento's at 109.8, Atlanta's at 111.2. So combined, they averaged 221. So when you see the line come out at 233.5, pair that with a system that I follow and certain things need to happen, it tells me that it's going to go over. So today I would take the over 231.5 over the Atlanta and New York.
I love it. I'm learning as we go with this. So over 230 points, right? That's what you're saying?
Yep, over 231.5. Lines are always on the move. Last time I checked, it was at 231.5. So you want to bet the over on 231.5. And just for a little bit more information, Atlanta over the last 2 weeks have been 5-2 to the over. So 5 overs and 2 unders. And Sacramento's at 12-7 over and under on the road. The last 2 weeks they've been 3-4, and so a lot of overs for both these teams.
Awesome. So let's get into the Knicks and the Heat. I'll let you do your thing. Remember, you guys can sign up for this. I'm not going to interrupt you as a rookie here, but I'm from Denver.com/DraftKings. Sign up, get up to $1,000 when you sign up. And when you do, go and make, or Mr. Black's going to give you the tips on what you should maybe be doing. We can't legally tell you what to do, but you get it.
Absolutely. So New York and Miami, and actually the last bet was Sacramento and Atlanta. Sorry, I said New York, but New York and Miami, the line opened at -6 Miami, and the total opened at 201. It's on the rise. It's now at 203. So same thing as I stated before, these two teams combined to score 212.5 points. So when you look at the total when it came out, for it to be so low, almost 10 points less than what they combined average on the season, we want to take the under in that game.
Cool. Let's move on. There's an app mishap. I was curious about this. I still kind of wanted some more info. We're not going to say who messed up with the app, but we know who it wasn't, and it wasn't DraftKings. So, Mr. Black, what does this mean when there's an app mishap, and what happened exactly yesterday?
Yeah, so nowadays a lot of people want instant gratification, and as they're watching the games live, you can actually bet games live. The numbers move as the game goes on. And so last night I was paying attention to a hockey game that I was on, and the total for that game was set at 6.5 goals. So basically what Vegas was saying is that was the number to either go over or under. And at the end of the first period, it was 0-0. And a bunch of the other apps had the total at 4.5. And what I saw on one app was they left it at 6.5. So it was an easy guess for me to take the under there, and they actually allowed that bet to happen. And then shortly after that, the site went down for what they said, site maintenance for the next 4 hours. You couldn't even log in. So it's very interesting. But when you're looking at these live lines, you can obviously catch a lot of things that maybe mistakes that do happen.
So what's interesting is that these games are live, and you can actually use DraftKings and place a bet in the middle of a game. That's a possibility. So it's not like you have to do it right when the game starts. You can do it in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a hot thing right now. So you could literally be sitting at the game. You could be at that ball arena watching the Nuggets play, and you could literally be on your app right there watching the lines move from what they started at based on what's happening in the game. And you could literally make bets every second within the game if you wanted to, all game long.
And we're going to move on, but I'm really excited about this because, Mr. Black, one of the things we talked about with DraftKings was being able to give everyone in Colorado and on I'm from Denver the opportunity to win sports memorabilia, tickets, and we got good tickets too, Nuggets, Avs, all that stuff. I'm excited for that because I think that we're really focused on the Colorado sports and the Colorado scene here, which, I mean, shoot, that's how you dominated the sports gambling world, but I'm excited for that. And shoot, I know, Mr. Black, you have quite the connects when it comes to the certain teams and what we were able to give everyone who's watching and streaming.
Yeah, I actually think it's really cool. I don't think people realize that all these different sports books and apps are really big into the rewards. And so obviously the more you play, the more you wager, the better they treat you, so to speak. And so think of it as equal to like a rewards points at a hotel. The more points you get, the more free rooms you get. So, I've been sent all over the place, been sent to the Final Four. I played golf with Barry Sanders and Wayne Gretzky in Michigan. And so they're always looking to give away tickets and hospitality. They send me gifts all the time to my house. And so these are things that you'll get by just playing on their app and being a loyal customer.
And following I'm from Denver, although we're not going to give you a chance to play golf with Wayne Gretzky, but maybe someday we could do something like that. Let's talk about college hoops. We got these games come up here really soon, right? I mean, aren't they early games? Is this early game, or I'm not sure about college basketball. Do they start early? Is it just a reason that this game's kicking off when it is?
Yeah, there's always games. I mean, sometimes the games are at 9 a.m., noon today. The first game tips at 4 p.m. I think what's important with college hoops is it's been a roller coaster ride this year, and I think anybody out there that pays attention to gambling will agree with me. And in general, college hoops is very difficult. And again, the education piece that I bring to it is there's really no real preseason in college hoops. Teams are very unpredictable early. You got the freshman factor, right? I mean, you don't know what that freshman's going to be like. Some freshmen overperform, some underperform, and without having to
gain weight because of the freshman 15, you just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's in general, it's very difficult. And then obviously you have COVID now, right? So a lot of games are getting canceled. Some teams are off for 10 days at a time, and they're rescheduling games. And so it really puts them in a little bit of a funk. And so And then what it does to them condition-wise if obviously someone's had COVID. And so it's been very challenging to bet college hoops. Today, though, there is a game that I really do like. It tips here at 4 p.m., and it's Tennessee and Florida. Tennessee at home is 10-1 on the year. They're 9-7 against the spread, and they're 6-3 against the spread at home. Going against Florida in their last 5 games, they're actually 0-2 against the spread as well. So Tennessee, last time I looked, was -9.5, and I would say take Tennessee at home for this one.
So if you know what spread is and you know how to do it, go ahead and log on to imfromdenver.com/DraftKings. Sign up for DraftKings via the link. But we're going to get more into this. We're going to talk tomorrow. We got some nuggets we're going to talk about, more Denver-oriented sports. But we are also going to talk about spreads and things like that because I don't know what that means, but I'm learning this stuff with you guys. And the more that we can learn, the more we're going to have fun watching these games and let Mr. Black tell us what we should be doing when we're watching these games to make that money, although that's not a guarantee. Thanks, Mr. Black. We'll talk tomorrow, my man.